Shalom, all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect, Ba'Shem Rakak Wadash. My name is Yakalba from Plain Tables Camp. Now, when you look, a few people reported this, this is RT, NATO website calls for nuclear war preparation, meaning this is their actual NATO website, nato.org or whatever. It says, and the person that wrote the article was Gregory Weaver. It says NATO has published an article by a retired American defense official. So this proves, which calls for the bloc to fight and win a limited nuclear war against Russia. There's no such thing as a limited nuclear war. All right. And they're putting the spirit out there because they know there's going to be a World War III. There's going to be a World War III. Should the U.S. and China clash over Taiwan, and author claims that a full-scale war in Europe would likely follow. So whatever's going to happen first, it's going to happen first. He's linking that to Taiwan and China. The point is that the spirit of the third woe is out there. Let's go down to the... Says, speaking at the UN General Assembly in New York last month, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei, let's go up here. To counter this, he recommends that NATO offer a more deep precision strike capabilities to Europe from several modern armored divisions in the Baltic states and Eastern Europe, and press European members to provide more conventional capability while the U.S. sends them tactical nuclear weapons. All right, so the spirit of war is in the air, and NATO allowed this to be published. So they want that spirit of fear to be out there. They're not even hiding it. All right, 'cause they could have kept that to themselves. This is the website. You click here, article, and this will bring up nato.int. Click there, go to nato.int. That's the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. This is their webpage. All right. And it says the urgent imperative to maintain NATO's nuclear deterrence, as Gregory Weaver. So September 29th, 2023, a few days ago, they allowed this article to be written on their page. All right. It says the dismal performance. No, he's talking shit there. All right. The Russian nuclear use, deterrence of Russian nuclear use in a future conflict is therefore no longer a high priority. This is a dangerous fallacy. So he's saying it's going to be no chance of nuclear war with Russia. He's saying the West believes that. That's a dangerous fallacy. It fails to take into account the relevant lessons learned from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So they're telling you that's the spirit of World War III, the third woe. All right. Let's go to Habakkuk right here. It says, and this proves that the beast, which is the European nations and the United States, they make up the beast. Well, America's the horde that rideth on the sitteth on the beast. All right, but together they operate as a beast. It says, yeah, also because this Habakkuk 2:5. Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning transgression, sins. All right, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth into him all nations, and heapeth to him all peoples. Now I looked up, neither keepeth at home, 5:15, 5115. It means to rest at home. So Noah. So he does not rest at home. He goes out and conquers and prepares lands to absorb their resources. All right, says la ya Noah, not resting at home. All right, neither keepeth at home. So that's the website. Third woe. The scriptures speak about a third woe. Third woe. It's Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe was past. That's World War II. And the third woe cometh quickly. You look up woe. It's an exclamation of grief. Right here. It's calling it out. Sudden cry, anger, expressing grief. All right, and that grief is nuclear destruction, war, which is going to result in millions of people dead, and then the total annihilation of the America Babylon. The third woe. That's going to be the end result. All right. So in it, Weaver argued that counter to Moscow's long-standing nuclear doctrine, Russia may use tactical nuclear weapons either to stave off a battlefield defeat or bring about a swift victory to a conventional conflict such as in the Ukraine. All right. So that spirit of war is definitely there, and it's coming from NATO, coming from the beast. All right. Notice that all the talking and rhetoric is about using nuclear weapons. Not all of it. I believe. I don't know if Russia mentioned that they were going to use nuclear weapons. I believe they mentioned that they were not going to use it, if I'm not mistaken. They were not going to use it. I believe that's Russia's stance. But the West stance is that they believe they are going to use it, and they need to prepare just in case they do use it. And there's no such thing as a limited nuclear engagement or war. If one person uses nuclear weapons, one side uses nuclear weapons, they're all going to use their nuclear weapons. All right. Let's go back to Revelation. It says, this is nuclear war. It says, Revelation 11:13, and the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were frightened, and gave glory to the power of heaven. All right, that's the total annihilation of America. All right, and before that, it says in the 12th verse that the elect are going to be ascend. All right. And the elect are going to be afraid. Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. And that's when the elect are going to be in the air, looking down. All right. At the total annihilation of Babylon, America. All right. And there in the article he's saying, well, because NATO's not going to interfere in Ukraine. All right, it says, fourth, if Russia's leadership were to assume that NATO's unwillingness to intervene militarily in Ukraine is a result of its prepared nuclear threats. It's like it is result of its repeated nuclear threats. Russia will draw the wrong lesson regarding NATO's will to fight in the face of such nuclear threats in a conflict with the alliance. The misrepresentation could convince Russia that coercive nuclear threats or use will split the alliance in a future crisis or conflict with acceptable risk that NATO will not respond in a way that decisively worsens Russia's position. Nuclear threats or use will split the alliance in the future crisis. All right. Yeah, and that's another thing. NATO says all our allies have turned against thee. It's the book of Obadiah. Them that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. All right. Russia, that coercive nuclear threats or use will split the alliance in the future. In a future crisis. Misperception could convince Russia that coercive nuclear threats or use will split the alliance in a future crisis. All right. So this is NATO's actually talking about this. Well, this guy that wrote the article, and they know. All right. They know that eventually the beast is going to turn against the whore. All right. They're not going to operate as one, and those European allies are going to use their nuclear fire, and they're going to totally destroy Babylon, America. What was that? Is that Revelation 17? Let's find that real quick. Eat her flesh and burn it with fire. Let's find that. The doom of Babylon. All right. So you got the beast together. All right. It's of the 8th, which is of Britain. It says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. All right. I mean, they formed that NATO. All right. And America is the head, the unofficial head of the beast. And she's the whore that sitteth. All right. Now you go down to the 15th verse. Well, 16th verse. Revelation 17:16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. All right. The whore is Babylon, America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. It says, deserted of people and in a state of bleak and dismal emptiness. Yeah, because it's going to be totally torched, totally annihilated. Babylon, America. All right. So they're telling you what's going to happen before it happens. All right. That's what Psalm 6:4. All right. Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. Psalm 64:8. All right. So we know eventually the 10 horns and every other ally they got around the world is going to make her desolate and naked and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's nuclear fire. Same thing I read in Habakkuk. All right. So that's a shameful spewing. Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Woe means destruction, exclamation of grief, and that laddeth himself with thick clay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and all that dwell therein. All right, that proves that Great Babylon is a city. All right, and that America is a city. It's known as a city. All right, in the scriptures. All right, how hath the oppressor ceased it? All right. That goes back to Isaiah 14 also. All right. So I think you get the point. All right. Hope you can see that. Let me blow that up a little bit so you can see that. All right. The misrepresentation could convince Russia that coercive nuclear threats or use will split the alliance in a future crisis. All right. Now, NATO, the writer that wrote this article for NATO, Gregory Weaver, is talking about it. He knows, he's an insider, that eventually they believe that the Europeans are going to turn against them, the 10 horns. All right. He wrote an article about it. So they're telling you what's going to happen. So that's why they building different things in space, which I believe they're what they're showing us about the space station is not really happening. They're doing, they put the movie magic, so to speak, in front of us, and the secret experiments and the preparation they're doing behind the scenes that they're not going to let us see. And what we see on those YouTube videos and on their website is a front for what they're really doing. All right, so that alliance is going to be broken up, and even NATO knows that. All right, and here's some more evidence. Warsaw will gradually phase out. I spoke about this before. There's been other articles before. Warsaw will gradually phase out assistance to Ukrainian refugees starting from the first quarter 2024. All right. All right. Today's the 5th, right? Yeah, Thursday, October 5th. All right. October 20th, they were saying signals it will stop aid for Ukrainian refugees in 2024. And 20 hours ago, Polish government representative assistance to Ukrainian refugees will gradually phase out. All right. So again, they are playing a little sick game, acting like they're angry at each other. What they really are, because the prophecy does say that they're going to split. But they're all going to agree on that implant. All right, they're all going to agree on the implant. So yeah, economy suffering. So they're going to ease off supplying Ukraine with assistance. All right, they're stepping away in that. They're still getting no oil. The different countries in Europe are still getting some imports from Russia. All right. That's against the will of America, the will of Ukraine. So they're not together. But then eventually they're all going to, whoever has that nuclear capability, mainly Russia, they're going to totally annihilate Babylon America. Let's end it with Obadiah. All right. It links directly up with Revelation 17 and 16. It says OBD. Says Obadiah 1 and 7 says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. All right. Meaning in war, you got no place to go. All right. Because when that nuclear fire comes over here, you can't escape. Now you've been chased to the border. Fought down to the last man. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. All right. But they use the dollar trade in oil. It's the world's reserve currency, the oil reserve currency. All right. So those European allies are going to turn against Babylon America. Shall I not in that day, saith Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau? All right. So if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? All right. Would they not have stolen until they had enough? If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not glean some grapes? Meaning the whole amount of Babylon America is going to be completely erased. All right. And furthermore, all of Esau's dominion on earth is going to be completely erased. All his countries and his power hold in Europe and Russia and America and Australia is going to be totally erased. Only America is going to be erased by nuclear fire. All right, and the rest of the different strongholds that Esau holds. Esau is he calls himself Caucasian or white, which is biblical nationality is Esau. All those governments are going to be destroyed. They're going to be wiped off. They're going to be wiped off too. The chariots are going to come down. The elect are going to come down and totally erase those countries and lands and islands that Esau controls. I mean, he's going to take the people out, and their governments and their buildings and technology is going to be completely destroyed. All right, and it's going to be a new government is going to be set up in those lands, all right, under Yahushua. All right, but America, Babylon is going to be completely erased by nuclear fire. All right, as it says here. All right, it gives you an analogy of a field being totally gleaned of the crops. All right, meaning the people are going to be totally wiped away, and everything going to be completely wiped away. All right, out of America, Babylon, and the rest of the Edomites they're going into slavery, and we're going to take control of those lands. All right, and destroy all their technology and pollution. All right, because the earth is going to be renewed. All right, so all Esau's power is going to be transferred. Well, it's going to be destroyed, and the Israelites are going to rule under Yahushua in all of Esau's inhabited lands. All right, so hope you edified. Shalom.